All right. Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome back to the Wholeness Experience Show. My name is Jess Lulua, and today's episode is really special. Why? Guess why? Because it's my birthday, and I decided to do something, a bit more personal today, and I want to talk about, about healing from past relationships because it's something that so many of us go through. Not everyone truly heals from it, right? So this is also something that I explored very deeply in a book called After the Breakup. So I'll be sharing some of the key lessons from that journey today. All right, so let's get right into it. So one thing I've realized is that a lot of people don't actually heal; they just move on. And that's what I hear most of the time. I've moved on, I've moved on, I've moved on. Okay, but the question is, have you actually healed from that breakup, from that hurt, from that pain? Have you actually moved from that? Have you actually healed, not just moving on, from that pain, from that hurt? Okay. Now, let me quickly say this. Emotional wounds, okay, they when they happen, they don't just disappear on their own, right? They don't just disappear. It takes effort of the person who was hurt, to heal intentionally from the wound. Uh, okay, I want to talk briefly, about some of the lessons that I've learned. There's some lessons that I've learned from healing from past relationships, lessons that I've learned from personal experience, so from the experiences of others. Number one is healing. Healing is intentional. I mentioned earlier that it has to be intentional. Your effort to heal has to be intentional. Healing doesn't just happen because time passed, or you know it has happened and it's gone and moved on. No, healing has to be intentional. You have to be intentional about facing what you feel, process it, how you feel it, and then heal from it. Right. And then number two, moving on. Right, moving on is not the same as being healed. Moving on is not the same as being healed. A lot of people, will say it a lot of times, even me. I used to do that too. I've moved on, I've moved on, oh, I've moved on. Oh, how are you feeling about that heartbreak? Hope it's not hurting you anymore. I've moved on. You know, it's not just about moving on. You have to heal. You can move on and, still react from that pain. You can move on and still carry fear with you into the next relationship. You can move on and still be struggling to trust the next person that you're going into a relationship with, right? And that is not good for you. It's not good for the next partner you're going to have. It's going to affect your relationship. And this is one of the reasons why we tell people about rebound. Take your time to heal before jumping into another relationship. Heal, ensure that the hurt has been healed. Then you can progress into a next relationship and enjoy the relationship smoothly. Right, another lesson is you have to allow yourself to feel. You have to allow yourself to feel emotions. A lot of us try to be strong, by ignoring pain. You know, don't form strong. Put it that way. Don't form strong. I'm strong. There's no need to form. Be honest with yourself. How do you feel about this pain? How are you feeling? Are you still hurting, or you've healed? Right? So allow yourself to feel and understand the feeling, and then deal with it. Another lesson is forgiveness is not your is for freedom. Forgiveness is for freedom. So forgiveness does not mean, when I say forgiveness, doesn't mean that what happened was right. It doesn't mean that what happened was okay, the person that hurt you was right, or whatever heartbreak that happened was very okay. No, that doesn't mean forgiveness doesn't mean that it was okay. It means that you're choosing not to stay trapped in it. choosing not to stay trapped in that hurt. You're choosing not to stay trapped in that emotional trauma. That is what forgiveness means. Now, finally, I'm talking about lessons, learned from heartbreak and breakup. Boundaries are necessary. Trust me. This is very key. Boundaries are necessary. Healing sometimes requires distance. Not because you hate the person. No, you don't hate the person, but because you value your peace. And that is very necessary. If you're healing from heartbreak, you need that peace. Okay, you need that peace of mind. So you need to set boundaries. It's very necessary. Set boundaries. It might not be permanent, it might not be forever, but for that period of your healing, please set boundaries to help your healing process, to hasten your healing process. Right? Now, if you're currently going through a breakup, I mentioned earlier that I wrote a book, right? I actually wrote this book, and it's called After the Breakup. In this book, I went deeper into the journey of healing, what it feels like, how to process it, and how to truly start healing. You need to get that book. The link is in my bio. Just click on my profile on the YouTube channel. Check somewhere in my bio. The link is there. Please click on it. It's also be in the description of this video. So click on it. Get the book. If you're in the process of healing, if you just suffered from a heartbreak or a breakup, get the book. And also you can get for somebody who is healing, who that just suffered a breakup also, or a betrayal, or a heartbreak, as it may be. So you'll be helping that person. You'll actually be saving that person's life. Okay, so you need to get that book, and it's very affordable, trust me. Yeah, I want you to ask yourself honestly. All right, yes, you listening to me, ask yourself honestly, am I truly healed, or have I just moved on, like others? Have I truly healed, or have I actually moved, or have I just moved on? Right? What part, another question tells you, is what part of my past, am I still carrying? Am I still carrying that hurt? If I see that person that hurt me today, how do I feel about the person? You need to be sincere with yourself. Ask yourself these questions, and trust me, this is the process. This is a major step in your healing process. Right, so I would like to close with this. Healing is a journey. Healing is a journey, and wherever you are in that journey, just know that you are not alone. There are a lot of people who are going through this process, and you have counselors, you have people who are ready to talk to you, to encourage you, and to help you in steps and processes you need to go through while healing. You could also reach out to me, just reach out to me on my Instagram. My Instagram is just a lower _9, and just chat me up. Let me know how you're feeling. If you need help, you know, with your healing process, please talk to me. I'm very open. And if you have another counselor who is easier for you to reach, please reach out. Talk to somebody. Don't just stay alone and then bury your heart, and keep going through the pain. Reach out to somebody, talk to somebody, and get my book. Get my book, because if you talk to me, I would also refer you back to my book. So get my book, After the Breakup. It'll help you along the way. Right. So if this episode has really resonated with you, if this episode really speaks to your heart, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. And I would really love to hear from you in the comment section. And yes, reminder, it's my birthday today. It's my birthday today, the 26th of April, and I'm grateful to God. So this means a lot to me that you're here. Thank you for being here, and thank you for getting my book. Thank you in advance for getting my book. God bless you. I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.